breath. I'm just sitting here trying to just testing out this HAPS a little bit more, and figured I'd just before I go to bed, I would just give it another shot, just to see how things go. So far, looking like it's coming along pretty good. Um, but I just wanted to give all you notaries out there a word of encouragement. Hey, look, stand firm. Things are turning around. I've been getting some very, very positive feedback from many of you that you got your first signings. You're starting to get notifications. You're starting to, see that there's a light at the end of the tunnel instead of a tunnel at the end of the light. So it appears that things are coming along really, really well for you. So I'm happy. I'm very, very happy. Um, so a couple of things that you need to do is make sure your profile is straight. Um, Take the word new or that I'm a new notary out of your profile. That's something that I've been told by a couple of different owners of signing companies they don't like to look at. Or if they see it, they just bypass you because you're saying, hey, I'm new. So that's one thing that you can do is take that out of your profile. Um, Again, one of the things you can also do, as I've always stated, is just highlight how you can help people out or how you are going to accommodate them. If you look at my profile on SnapDocs, that's pretty much what I try to say. I try to talk about how I can help people out, how I accommodate, the mileage that I'm willing to travel, so forth and so on. I don't talk a lot about, hey, my background in retail sales has made me able to be this kind of notary, that kind of notary, because honestly, they don't care about that. They want to know, can you solve their problem? And when you look at things from a business standpoint, what is it that these people need? They need somebody that can be reliable. And in your profile, you need to communicate how reliable you can be. If you can't communicate how reliable you can be, they pretty much not going to want to have anything to do with you. So that's what you really, really got to do. You gotta say that you're reliable. And talking about the fact that you've done 15 years in retail, 30 some years as a government contractor supervisor does not really say that you're going to be reliable when they need you to be. So that's one of the things that you have to be. It doesn't say that you're accommodating. Um, like one of the things I have in my profile, it says the best part about working with me is I am fully open to performing signings outside of traditional working hours and on weekends. Additionally, I have no issues meeting the customer at a location that is comfortable for them. And then I have in parentheses, home, library, church. So right there, that tells me, hey, this person is willing to meet them for the most part anywhere that that customer might need because of their busy schedule. But if you don't put that in there, they're not going to know that you're willing to do that. So you need to put that kind of stuff in there and let them know. Another thing that I have in my profile is I talk about where I serve. I serve the entire Hampton Roads area and within 100 miles of the Hampton Roads area. And then I say areas outside, I meant to, I got to read right there, but areas outside of 200 miles can be done with the 48 hours notice. I meant to say areas outside of 100 miles can be done in a 48-hour notice, and I'll fix that. But they get the point. Um, that's some of the stuff that I have in there. Yes, I put on there, I'm a notary committed to attention to details, which everybody seems to put in there. But one of the other things I put in there is all documents ship out on time. Another thing that I'm going to be putting in there is I don't have a problem. Somehow I got to craft it to where I'm saying I don't have a problem working with the elderly. So in your profile, you really want to communicate that you have no issues working with various types of people. There are some notaries that don't want to work with the elderly. They don't want to work. Sometimes they don't even want to work with young kids, young people, 20 some years old. So you have to communicate that to them that, hey, this is what I'm willing to do, and I'm willing to go above and beyond. Now, a lot of people will tell you, or maybe not a whole lot, but some people will tell you that nobody looks at your profile. If they don't look at your profile, then why is it there? And that can be a debate going back and forth, back and forth. Somebody's looking at your profile. Somebody wants to hear a story about you. They want to read who you are and what can you do. Um, I put in here that I'm a Virginia e-notary. I'm a Ron. That I perform mortgages online using, e-closings using dot verify one notary. I specialize in closings 24 hours a day, 7 days a week since I'm full time. So that's the kind of stuff that I communicate in there. Then one of the things I have in here is I have a section where it says perform signings for the following companies. And I have probably about 20 or 30 in here that I've done closings for. This is to let them know that, hey, I've worked with a variety of customers so that you can see that, okay, I'm not just pigeonholed into one. And that, and then one of the big things I have on my profile is the number of signings that I've completed. So with SnapDocs, when you look at the profile, the public facing profile, it says signings, what is this? Okay, SnapDocs signings completed. So it has on here how many signings have you done with SnapDocs? It shows 298. However, total that I've done with SnapDocs is over 800. I think right now it's showing 825. SnapDocs, people don't see, if they just looked at your outside SnapDocs, the profile, all they will see right now is that I've done 298. Now they look at my profile on NNA and they say, okay, well, you've been doing this 2.5 years and you've only gotten 298. They might not think that's good enough for somebody who's been doing it as long. So that's why in my profile, I state that I got over 800 signings. And even on my profile, I said the signings below include 298 SnapDoc signings. That way, they'll know that, oh, you got SnapDoc signings as well as other signings in your repertoire of what you've done. And then, which more like I'm probably do tonight or tomorrow, I'm gonna go and update my profile on all of the signing platforms so that my profile matches. So it'll show I won't necessarily say 298 SnapDocs if I'm on some other platform, but I'll just say I got over 800 signings. That way they can see, okay, this is how many you've gotten. They go and check and see what it is. Some people think that, oh, they're not checking you out. No, they're checking you out. Some of them, if they think that they would like to use you, they will go and look you up. They will go and see what comments are out there about you from other signing companies. But here's the other side of the house. If you're not taking signings, nobody can comment on how good you are. So if you're sitting up here still saying, I'm not going to do a $60 signing, I only get out of my house, I only get out of my chair, I only put my, put the keys in my car for $100, and after 4 or 5 months, you only have zero signings, then how can somebody comment on you if you don't have any signings under your belt? That's why when I first started, I was taking the $40 signing that I had to drive an hour plus to get to. That's why I was taking $50 signings. That's why I took $100 signing that was a 3 hour round trip. So I could get that experience under my belt. So when these signings come in, and I know you say, man, you said this before. I'm telling you, going into the new year, you need to, and look, when you got experience, people will call on you. I was doing one of my house inspections today, And all of a sudden I got a special tone on my phone to let me know when an order is coming in that's a signing from whoever, and from the different companies, and it's heard the tone, and I'm like, okay, this must be for next week or whatever. It was for tomorrow, or yeah, tomorrow's today is right now. It's 11:21 on the 26th, so this order is for tomorrow, the 27th. I glanced down at it. It's $450. This is a signing company, not a direct client. A signing company saying we're gonna pay you $150 to do this closing on tomorrow, Sunday. I didn't even read. I didn't care where it was at. I was like, got it. I hit the button. About 10 minutes later, they came back and said, you're signed. That's what it's about. Now, you can get those kind of signings if you got some experience. So I'm begging y'all, and I don't beg too many people for anything, but I'm begging y'all, when the orders come through, when you see it, even if you don't think that you're 100%, trust me, you can do this. Just stick to the basics. Don't try to get fancy. Just get in there at minimum. Just give them the name of the document title. Let them know you're new. Let them know if there's any questions they have. You'll get some help for them. You'll do the best you can to answer, and just go with that. And get in there. Just get the daggone deal done. Yeah, you might run across somebody who wants you to read every last word, but you let them know that is not your purpose there. And that's why I say you set the tone in the beginning. This is what it's about. This is what I'm here to do at. Yes, there's more I can do, but this is the minimum that I can do. And I'm going to stay in my lane and get this signing done so that I can start making the money. Um, and if you do that, it's going to come. Okay, it's going to come, and it's going to be right there for you. So fix your profile. Um, don't have it saying how brand new you are, how brand new you are, how brand new you are. Talk about how you can, the benefit of them helping, of using you, um, and you'll be okay. And then also I wanted to say, like today I had a good day. Um, I took time out and called a couple of people. There were several of y'all that asked me to give y'all a call. I gave y'all calls, and I actually took time out and was on a Zoom call with one of the subscribers, and me and her was on a Zoom call for about 2 3 hours, and I could tell and see not everybody has the ability to take all these courses financially. And in my mind, I was thinking, okay, well, everybody's taking the courses, but I found out not everybody's taking these courses. Either they just don't have the funds, or at the moment, or whatever the case may be. Some of y'all, as I'm finding out, are out of work. So therefore, you had just enough money to get your commission and get your NNA certification, and you don't have the ability to get these courses, and therefore, some of you have not even seen these docs, but you want to do this business, and I commend you for that. So so today I actually worked with one of the young ladies, and me and her sat down on Zoom for 3 hours, at least 3 hours, I'm pretty sure. And might have been more, but at least 3 hours, and went through a whole loan package. She's NNA certified, all of that. So I had a document that I could show her, and we went through and boom, showed her every single aspect of the document, and she actually feels more confident. And see, she even got an order to do for today, but she turned it down because she felt uncomfortable. But after going through the document, showing her the different pages, how to explain it, just simple stuff, she was like, okay, I think I can do this. So I'm very proud of her, and I think she's going to do fine when the next order comes through. And that's the kind of stuff that I try to help people out to do, is to get them comfortable. I wasn't expecting to do that today, but I can tell in her voice that, hey, she needed help. She wanted some help doing this. And then hopefully, I'm gonna try to. I got to sign it for tomorrow. And if everything works out, I'm gonna have her shadow me so she can actually see it live and in action, how I go about doing it. And again, I'm not saying that my method is the best, my method is right. I'm just saying this is what the way I do things. So I'm excited. I'm really pumped for her because I think, and I could see at the end of the time we spent together that she was ready to rock and roll. She was like, okay, you know what? I got this. I can do this. So tomorrow I'm gonna meet with someone else, do a Zoom call with them, help them out, answer some questions, um, point them in the right direction. So this is nice. This is nice. What's going on, IT guy? I see you. We live, man. You're right. You're right, man. Yeah, man. That's what it's all about. Gotta help people out, man. Because there were people who was there for me, and like I said before, y'all, me being on YouTube isn't the first time of me helping people out. All of what I'm doing for y'all is what I did for other notaries for a year, for a whole solid year before I ever hopped on here. And it was never my intent to hop on here to tell, to like to teach and all of that. But like I said, every time I turn around, there's a new person popping up talking about this, talking about that. And I just saw people confused. People were just trying to figure out how is it that they're making all this money pop, pop, pop. Why am I getting money, this, that, and the other? I'm trying to work with some people now to figure out how to help people out in attorney states. There's information that's out there, but I'm trying to help people, who may not have access to that information or have the time to find it. So it's just it's just wild, man. Hey, what's up, Lisa T? And y'all click on the link and sign up. I think that thing helps y'all get some kind of coins or whatever. I still don't know much about this app. I will say this app is similar to or like a cross between what's that thing called? Periscope and Patreon is somewhere similar, like the offspring of those two. I just like the fact that you can actually um yeah, Lisa, yeah, you can hit me up. I just saw that. I saw that. Yeah, you can hit me up with that. Okay, there's my lady. I didn't say her name. She hopped in and said about the training. So yeah, me and I can't even pronounce that first part, but Tam there. She said that she's going there. Yeah, she did a great job. She really understood the stuff. And see, that's why I'm saying, I mean, I'm sitting here and I feel y'all pain. I do. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, y'all can do this thing. Y'all really can. I know everybody makes it this way, that way, you know, but don't overcomplicate it. You're going to be fine. You really, really, really are. Um, I'm gonna take a leap of faith out here, and I'm gonna put together some videos. And I've been wanting to, but at the same time, like I said, I like I was telling later today, I I'm trying to be careful because I know different people have gotten different trainings. My training is different, my viewpoint is different, and I'm not trying to offend people. But at the same time, I see there are a lot of people on here who have not taken any training at all for whatever various reason outside of the NNA essentials, things of that nature, and they're ready to rock and roll, and they just need some basic help, just to get an idea of what to do sitting at the table. And I'm learning from y'all, talking to y'all, texting with y'all. Um, and I said, okay, I can put together some stuff, and I'm gonna do it. And whether there's criticism or not, I'm gonna do this because I think this is going to help y'all to be successful and to get started when those orders come in. Because I'm also hearing a lot of people saying, "Hey, I got an order. I was given order, and I turned it down. I was like, no, I ain't doing it because I got scared, and I don't like that. I don't like y'all being scared. So, um, yeah, Rosby, yeah, all these different trainings, over 500. This business, let me, I'm gonna say this here. I'm gonna just say this here. I was thinking about this the other night. Yeah, if you want to ask questions, feel free. I'm up here going to ask questions. One of the questions that what's going on? one of the questions that I was asking myself, I said, long before there was ever the term loan signing agent, notary signing agent, or anything that ended with signing agent, who closed loans? Notaries. It's just that simple. Notaries close loans. They didn't have any, and I understand the purpose of the training and all of that, but they close loans. And some people might not like to hear that, but notaries close loans before there was ever these titles. So I'm like, there are people out here who I've come across who are notaries who have been closing loans in an office for years and have never heard of what we do. So I'm like, oh, this is really not that complicated. It's just a matter of you understanding the basics of these documents and sitting down and doing them and just understanding, not going over, into the legal advice realm. And at the same time, as I keep saying, and I know it sounds like a broken record, but everybody plays a part in all of this. Everybody plays a part. The loan officer, the mortgage people, which is the loan, the escrow and all of that. So if everybody plays their part and do their role, then we'll be fine. This whole process will be fine. I think what happens for the signer, it gets complicated when everybody is trying to thwart their responsibility and push it on somebody else and everything. Now, what's to say? Glad to catch you finally here, Cleveland. Okay, RD Hawk 929 got a stamp. Haven't completed the NSA yet. Hoping to get comfortable enough to take the exam soon. Thanks for everything you do. Appreciate that. Um, I will say this here, dude, you give the signer the right to cancel or just pointing to that. Here's me and Anomaly Tam was talking about that today. The way it works is this, and it took me a while to really get it. And I know some people are like, well, I thought you don't did 800 of these. Sometimes you don't. Some things just don't click. You get the package you get, and maybe it was just I misunderstood it or whatever. But the package that you have them sign, typically there's 3 copies. You have them sign all 3, and then you leave 2 of them with them. The copy that's in theirs is not counted as a part of what's being left to them, from what I'm understanding. And again, and some people be like, man, you should have known that. What kind of notary guy you are? I'm a notary guy that misheard some information, just like many other people have misheard information. But when you hear it correctly, it clicks in and it's like, oh, okay, now I know what to do. And then I went and did some investigating, and one of the subscribers or somebody made mention of that. And I went and looked it up. And I was like, okay, got it. So if you there, what you do, hey, what's going on, One Shot Game Show? What you do is you simply, if there's 3 copies in the packet, 3 for him, 3 for the spouse, you then have them sign all 3 of his. She signed all 3 of hers, and then you take 2 and give it to them, and then you give back to the title company the ones that were signed. If for one of the notaries I was talking to, he said if there's just 2 copies, then you have them sign the 2 that was in the copy that you were having them sign, and then you take one from the copy that you gave them to keep, and in that way there's 2 that they have signed and kept, and then there's one for you to send back to title. And when I looked into it, and I think went back when I first started, there was some confusion because there was people who were saying you don't need 2 copies, or you just give them the ones that's in the copy packet. So I never, and that's a mistake on my part, I never really followed back up on it. But that's what I was hearing. That's what I went with, and thankful that the young lady who copped in here made a comment, and then I looked into it, and I was like, okay, got it. And once I sat down and really thought about it, I was like, okay, I get it. Leaving them the 2 copies is not based on the copy that you gave them for what they call the borrower's package. It's based on what you have in them sign. The 2 copies from that. Once I got understood that, everything cleared up, and I was okay. So yeah, title gets one. Yep, yep. And it's an honest mistake, and nobody had ever said anything or hit me up about that. None of the title companies. I was like, okay. And like I said, I might have misheard something that somebody said in training about that. So everything's completed, ready to get started. Now, Rosby, I will say one of the easiest ways that I found to get started is take whatever orders that come. Hopefully, it's not too far out for us driving, especially loan applications. Do those loan applications to get in their system, to get them to know you, so that they can see. Because a lot of notaries who hate loan applications, they will not do them. If you come across one that's a loan, a reverse mortgage loan application, do it. It's not that difficult. And if you get one and you need some help with it, just hit me up and we can do a Zoom and go over it and everything. But if you get a loan application, there's no notarizations in it, so there's nothing really for you to try to present. Um, which course did I take? I took the Sign and Thrive course from the notary coach and everything. And let me see if I can type this in here. Yeah, from notary coach. That's the one that I did. And if you go to notary coach and you type, and when you get there, and if you do the $33 course, what you have to do, oh, about the script, oh, well, scribble, not, yeah, yeah. Um, when you go to the Sign and Thrive and the $33 course, what he's been doing, and it should still be active, is if you put my first name in there and the discount code, you'll get half off of the thing, off of the price for the life of it. And I'm gonna type that in there right now for the young lady Lisa T. Yeah, email me at notaryhelp@griffin.notary.com, and then we'll get together. So hold on, let me sign in over here on YouTube, because I was looking at myself on YouTube, seeing how it comes through and everything. But yeah, you can email me at notary help notary.com. There you go. There you go, Lisa T. The notary coach, his course is good. I will say it's not as detailed, or from the standpoint of teaching you like specifically like to market yourself to escrow people, like a lot of the other courses teach. But I will say this much, based off of what I learned from him, I've been able to make this into a business that I could do full time. And it's also, let me even say this. What I've learned is this: no matter what course you take, it's how you apply it that matters. There are people who have taken courses from all of these individuals. They've taken it from notary to notary, notary to pro, LSS, notary coach, NNA stuff. They've taken it all, and right, very marketing driven. Yeah. And yep, the Sign and Thrive book. Yep, I got it right here. It's good. Got it in digital and paperback. All of those courses, in my opinion, are good, but it's also up to you. And then you have the other factor, is the area that you're in going to, are they willing to work with you for a lot of escrow direct? what level of business they have, all of that. So all of the courses are good. Um, they all teach from a different angle. They all have a different purpose. Some of them are designed to get you just out there as a mobile notary signing agent to do that can work great with. Oh, I see Leslie Hicks, you reading it, huh? Yeah, that's a good book that can help you get really, really well with the signing companies. Then you have courses that are really designed to get you going with the escrow companies. And there's nothing wrong with that you're in an area where they're looking for people to work directly with them. So if they're willing to work directly with you, you have the necessary training, you have whatever they're looking for, and you're willing to do the work that they ask you to do, because my understanding, you'll be doing a little bit more than just regular notary work. There's a little bit more of taking on some of the escrow officer's role and doing some of the things for making sure that documents and certain forms get filled out. And I'll be honest with you, when it comes to the signing companies, they have a different expectation. And it's not that it's wrong, it's just they have a different expectation. Like I always talk about business model. Their business model is, we want the notary to come in here and do dot, dot, dot. And we want the notary not to do dot, dot, dot. You get instructions in there that says, if you have a question, you call the loan officer. So irregardless of what training you take, if you're in a situation where it says you are to call the loan officer, but yet you was trained to go and answer questions, or not so much answer questions, but like really get in there and help out, and it's not what they want you to do, your failure point is going to be whether or not you follow the instructions or you follow your training. Training said to do this. Well, what did the people who are paying you told you to do? Well, they told me to do that. Then that's what you do. But that's not what I was trained to do. Do and it works in a negative. I wasn't trained to do dot dot dot, and now they want me to do something that's outside of my realm. Now you got to figure out how to manage that. So the way as I've said before, and I'll say it again, the way I dealt with it was, I just made myself available, did what they asked me to do. If somebody called me and talked to me, I promoted myself by saying, "Hey, I'm available in the evenings and weekends. How often do y'all have work during that time?" They were like, "Oh yeah, we got work during that time." I said, "Just keep me in mind." Okay, sounds good. I know a lot of people talk about doing and I know it might sound like I'm sort of bouncing all over the place, so things popping in my head. Hopefully it's all tying together. But one of the things that I hear a lot of people say, and again, this might be sort of controversial, my answer, but a lot of people talk about, signing up for 100 signing companies, 500 signing companies, all of that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the question you have to ask yourself is this: are those companies operating and doing closings in my area? If they are, that's good. If they're not, that's bad. So you can get on Amazon and order anything you want. But the question is, do they ship it here? And the case in point, there was some stuff that I needed for my yard, and I couldn't get it because Amazon doesn't ship here. They do not ship it here. I got St. Augustine grass. They got this fertilizer that works on my grass, but I cannot get it shipped here. Now, can I go buy it out of state and then bring it here? I guess so, yeah. But I could not order, and it was on sale. I could not get it shipped here. So you can you can buy anything. Amazon sells some of everything, but not everything that you can get on Amazon can be mailed to your area. Not every signing company is doing closings in your area. I'm not opposed to signing up for 100 of them. Matter of fact, last year I got a wake up call. I had signed up for one company, no fee involved, and I realized, I said, I haven't heard anything from them. I emailed them, said, "Hey, I haven't heard anything. It's a company called Prestige Notary." They was like, "Oh, we really don't do anything in your area, so you probably won't ever see anything from us." I've been signed up. I was signed up for them for over a year. I was like, got it. And when I did finally see something from them, it was for like over an hour, almost an hour and a half drive away. And I was like, I can't do that. So I don't even get anything from them anymore at all. So it's not that you can't sign up for 100 signing companies. You just have to understand that not everybody is doing closings in your area. So to sign up for 100 and only 13 are doing closings in your area, you can't be sitting there on pins and needles waiting for the other however many was 77, 80, 87 or whatever um, to do orders in your area. You got to work with what's in your area. So for me, I'm with about 8 different signing companies, and the companies, and I'm gonna type them in the chat. Signatureclosers.com, signingorder.com, yes, app. I gotta find out how to what's the there we go. Yeah, I'm putting not what I want. All right, so these are some of the signing companies that I'm signed up with, and of course I'm on SnapDocs. Everybody in the world is on SnapDocs. Um, yeah, that one. I forgot about them. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I'm trying to find out. I'm trying to find this one company. I don't get a whole lot from them, but they pay good. Yeah. Hey, what's going on there? Sharika Carver. Yeah. What's going on, lady? Um, I've never Googled. Well, yes and no. It's like I've Googled to see if the company even exists. RD Hawk. I've Googled them to see if they even exist. How do we find out which signing companies? That is one that I have not been able to figure out. I don't know who works where. Some companies, if you look them up, might tell you, "Hey, we work only in this area, that area." Um, but even the ones who say they're nationwide, they they say they nationwide. Hey, you're welcome, Miss Williams. You're welcome. Welcome, Latisha. Yeah, we work. Thank you. They say nationwide, but again, oh, let me just click there. Part of the reason why some of them don't work in the area is because they have not applied to the state to work in the area. Case in point, y'all have heard me harp about notaries collecting funds in Virginia. Notaries are not allowed to collect funds in Virginia. I found that out, then it became a big issue. One of my good friends, she was one title company was like, we're not going to use you anymore because you refuse to take funds. She never refused, she's just not allowed to. So I contacted the signing company and said, why did y'all kick her off? This, that, and the other. That. We didn't kick her off our platform. They just don't want to use it no more. So I called the state. I was like, hey, state, they're kicking notaries off, telling us we can't um, do closings anymore because we won't collect funds and we're not allowed to. And that's what y'all said. And he's like, no, you're not allowed to. And one of the companies in the company's Villa Title, VYLLA, Villa Title was the one that told me we couldn't collect funds. And I told the lady that, I said, yeah, that's the people who told me. She said, well, when Villa Title applied for their license to work in the state, that's what we told them, and they should know that. And that's when it clicked in. These companies have to apply to do business in our area. So some of them have, some of them haven't. Some of them be sneaking in and all of that. But certain companies, if they're going to be doing business in our area, they have to apply through the state. And if they haven't done that, or let's just say, case in point for Virginia, if they know they're going to have clients that's got to pay closing costs, and they want the notary to collect the closing funds, and then they're working here and find out, oh, y'all won't let y'all notaries collect closing funds. They may not want to work in Virginia. They're like, nah, we don't want to have nothing to do with y'all because you are you're not, nah, you won't let your notaries collect funds, and that's against our business model. Our business model is not to be paying wire fees. So notaries got to collect the funds, but the notaries can't do that. So we're not going to do business in your area. That could be it. So that's why I say with this business, you can't be emotional. You got to think logically about why won't the company do business here and everything. Yes, yes, yeah, yeah. Villa has a lot of incorrect, um, what you call it, things, acknowledgement forms, um, like Boston National. Uh, Boston National has tons of area. I mean, I think maybe 13 to 15 notarial pages, things that you got to put notary your stamp on. My goodness. Yeah, Boston National is another one. I mean, they have so many in there that it just hurts and all of that. So I'm trying to think of who else. The companies that I'm doing stuff for. Um, um, Hold on one second. So um, the signing platforms that I'm on, I just put in there. That's the main one: signature closer, signing order. Okay, this one. Oh, okay, that's my. Yeah, I got logged in. Um, yeah, a lot of them. Yeah, signature, snap, app sign, and see the app one, the app sign 360. They only send out orders through email. So you're sitting there and you're getting all these emails, and you didn't even realize it because if you're not checking your email a whole lot. Um, so you can actually get a good amount of business if they know you're reliable, and that's really where it's at. So it doesn't matter. Maybe it does matter who you train with. Again, as I keep saying, their business model. So if they want, somebody who has this particular training from this particular person, then yes, you'll get business from them. How much business? That's a different story. Um, I know I need 8 grand a month. I'm pretty close to that. And the bulk of that money right now has been coming through signing companies because that's who is working a lot in my area. So I got 77 done for the month so far, plus what I got coming up. My question is, if I work directly with a title company as a direct, would I get 77? Granted, my average, when I look at the average fee, it comes out to about 105 per closing. But that's primarily because I did a lot of smaller ones, $85, $50, $30, and all that in the beginning of the month. And that's one of the things that I do. I do a lot of lower ones in the beginning of the month, which does pump my numbers up, but at least gets me some money. So I'm trying to pull in about 3,500 to 4 grand in 15 days. So I take whatever the heck I can get in the first 15 days. And then at the end part of the month, that's when they start dropping them big dollars because they need notaries and they're like, okay, I need this done. I need this done. Everything is last minute. And I will say, looking at, um, like right now, I got 150, 175. I got a 95, 85, 125, 70, 90, 85. So that's what I got coming up for the rest of the month. Um, when I did my calculations out of the 70 some I've done, I had at least 45 that was $100 or more. So over half of what I did was $100 or more. I'm not a fan of that. Yeah. So stay encouraged. I'm telling y'all, y'all can do this. Um, I'm here to help you. The help that I want to be able to provide if I need to um, get on a Zoom call with one or two or three of y'all, that's fine. I just have to find the time to make it happen. All of us have to find the time to make it happen. Um, but I'm not. I have been waiting for Snapdocs. Yeah, Snapdocs has gotten probably overwhelmed with people um, coming in, and that's the same thing with signing order. They've been real slow because keep in mind, I think Snapdocs is in California, and if they're in California and now California been slammed with the coronavirus some more, so they got people probably sitting, just waiting to get put in. So switch over to signing order. What's that? I find most under 100. Did your offers increase with time? Yes, Casey Creech, my offers did increase with time, and I'm explain that in just a second. Um, switch over. You did signing order. I mean, SnapDocs. Go over to signing order and sign up with them. Get your credentials. They're pretty easy to get into, and there are a lot of companies that are in signing order that do not. I guess they don't companies that don't like SnapDocs for whatever reason. Oh, my bad. Here's my email. There you go, lady. There you go, Lisa T. Um, in the description box. So, um, right, Rosby, you're right. You're right. So, the question was, did things go up for me over time? Yes, they did. What I have learned is that there is a correlation between the amount of years you've been in, the number of signings you have, and the amount of insurance you have. So the higher your insurance is, the more serious they take you. If you Once I hit a year, I started seeing different companies contact me. Didn't understand why. I just went with it. All of a sudden, this company, that company, never heard of them. And in my mind, not understanding how things work, I was like, oh, these must be new companies. They weren't new. It's just that I finally met their criteria for them to select me. So for some of them, their criteria was you have to be doing it at least a year. Oh, that was then here's what's that other company? Yeah. Um BankServe, I think is bankserve.net maybe. Um but once I hit bankserve.net, um they are they only let people in at the beginning of the month between the first and the seventh. BankServe. Um is open for new applicants seventh of each month. Um, so I did see that once I hit a year, I started getting different companies. When I went from 25K to 50K, I started seeing additional companies. Then when I went to 100K, I started seeing more. When I hit 2 years, I started seeing more. And then recently, when I went to the Biberk, Biberk, when I went with them um, and got the $1 million E&O insurance, that's when I started seeing even more companies. A good friend of mine, Anthony, he got the $1 million insurance. He's almost at a year, and now he's starting to see a different group of companies contact him, and he's starting to see higher fees. So these companies will pay you if you meet their criteria. The difficult thing is we don't know what that criteria is. Like Simple Signings. Simple Signings is a good company. I didn't start getting stuff from them until I hit my first year. After my first year, and all of a sudden I'm like, wow, I'm getting stuff from this Simple Signing. And the orders were just coming in, and I was like, oh man, this is cool. $90 a pop, 90, 90, 90. And that's pretty much the most that they pay, $90. But then you have companies like Coast to Coast that's at 75. So 75 is like, okay, yeah, I'm doing that. Then all of a sudden you get this 90. All right, I'm gonna hop on that. But that was the most they would pay. But you got a lot of business, and they're coming through signing order. Then next thing you know, I'm seeing other companies. I'm like, and then they're paying more, and this one paying more, and that was paying more, and I'm like, but as I grew in the business, what are the best signing companies for newbies? To get experience, you would need to go with Notary Go. Notary Go is one of the lowest paying ones out there, but they will get you business. And oh, okay, Lisa Tucker. Thanks, Lisa. Yeah. Um, Notary Go is a good company to get started with. NotaryGo.com. You get on with them. Now, in the beginning, it's a little hard to get orders. They'll send you orders, and it's a little hard to once you start working with them and you take an order, and sometimes Notary Go will come out of the blue and be like, okay, yeah, we got this order, and it's an hour drive. Don't do that. Not for no $60. But if you get one from them, you just go and do it. They can be a little bit annoying because they will ask you at the 45-minute mark in the sign, are you done? Are you done? Are you done? But if you get about 10, 15 of them under your belt, and then you update your profile to say, hey, I've done 15 closings with Notary Go. So looking at it from a business standpoint, I'm a business that says I need somebody that has at least 15 under their belt. And I'm looking and I'm looking. And I don't care who you got it from. I just need to see 15 closings. And then when I look at your profile that the signing company see, I don't see any negative marks about you, anything bad, that you did great. Okay, then I can give you a shot. So I see that you've done 15. I don't care what the cost is for it. All I know you did 15. Then I'm gonna give you a shot. So if that's what that person's business model is, and that's what they're looking at, then that's what you need to. Then that's where you need to get your teeth wet at, or cut your teeth on doing stuff with Notary Go, Notary Go, Sunshine Signings, and Coast to Coast. They pay a little low, but the paperwork is no different than if you got it with $100 company. A lot of these companies, right? That is sad, yeah. In certain areas, they'll pay 30. And I'm going to be honest with you. If you're brand new and you don't have anything under your belt, take the 30 so you can say, I got some experience. It will also motivate you because it's like, I ain't doing this forever. And that's how I felt. I was like, man, 60 is okay. But then when I got a taste of 75, I was like, mm, okay. Then I got a taste of 85, 90, 105. I was like, whoa. And see, for me, it was bad because my first order was $100. So I'm like, okay, I would honestly thought that doing 60 was, I was slumming, but nobody else was giving me orders. These are the only people that were. And I just came to the conclusion that if I had, the more I had under my belt, the more people would pick me, and they did. So I don't even mess with Notary Go right now. I don't, I mean, the orders still come in from them, but I don't touch Notary Go. Here's another one. And it might take a little bit getting with them. Um, CX Choice. CX Choice, I think their prices have dropped a little bit, but they're also a good place to start. And the quirky thing about CX Choice is that yeah, the quirky thing about CX Choice is sometimes you'll have an order with them and then you just never get the documents. You just never get them. It's just, and then you never hear from them. Case in point, I had one for last Monday. It was Monday, the I think the the 21st, or we did the 14th. One of these 2 Mondays ago. No, it was just 21st. I had it for the 21st, and at 5 p.m. documents never came. At 3 something, I asked them where the documents are. Never heard anything. I called a customer. They said, "Oh, yeah, we got it. It's been canceled because my husband wanted to read the documents over." I was like, "Okay." And this was at like 5:15. I was like, "I ain't gonna be coming because that." She's like, "Oh, nah, we know that because we canceled it." Okay, nobody told me. I forgot about calling the company. I was like, you know what? I ain't even gonna worry about it. I got all these other orders. Fast forward to Thursday, I get a notification and a phone call from them saying, "Hey, your documents are ready for your 5:30 today." I'm like, "What 5:30?" "Yeah, the 5:30 with so and so." I was like, "If you look in the profile, you'll see. I mean, in the chat thing, you'll see that I asked about this and nobody told me anything, so I just thought it was canceled." "Well, it's on." I was like, "But I'm already booked. I got closings I got to do right now that I'm going to do right now." I said, "I can't make it." "But it's an open order." I was like, "I get that. I can't do it." "Okay." And then she hung up. That's what happens sometimes with some of these companies. I even had a company where I mean, I called the lady and said, "Ma'am, I don't know where the documents are. They haven't gotten with me." And she was like, "Okay, yeah." And I was like, and she said, "Well, they already told me that it was canceled." I said, "Oh, that's why you was calling like I was a stalker, huh?" And she started laughing because she was trying to figure out why was I calling because the company never informed me that it was canceled. So I've had that happen several times, and it can be disheartening. It can be frustrating because it's like, man, if I get this order and I get that order, man, that's gonna be $400 for the day, and then that $400 go all the way down. Like look, since I've been full time, one day I went from making over $300 down to just 50. I had $300 set, and next thing I know, I walk away with only $50 that I made that day, and I was like, I was upset. I was like, I can't believe this. All I had was 50 stinking dollars, and it really wasn't stinking. They smelled good because $50 for 15 minutes worth of work, and that's all it was. All those who are da, 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 da. Okay. Yeah, she said email the people. If you're still waiting for SnapDocs verification. Now, when you say shady, again, let's go back to one of the videos I was talking about. Again, and I hate to sound like I'm the business model. Okay, in the process, the loan officer talks to the customer. The processor takes the loan officer's info and gives it to the underwriter. The underwriter reviews it and scrutinizes it and says, okay, this is a good candidate to get this loan. They take that information and then they send it to the title company. From the title company, they put all the documents together and give it to the signing company. Well, and the signing companies are the ones that I put in here. So they give it to those signing companies, and then the signing companies then turn around and contracts us. Here's the thing: the signing company is just the middleman that says we got the notaries, and we give you the, and they give the title company the ability to post these documents up in their portal. If the title company doesn't have the documents together, is that the signing company's problem or is it the title company's problem? It's definitely frustrating because you skip over jobs because you have an appointment scheduled and then the signing service tells you at the last minute it's a no-go. And why are they telling you at the last minute? More than likely because that's when they're finding out. So the signing company, like Signature Closers, they're saying, hey, we provide the platform for these companies to contract and to get people. And they use these platforms to get notaries, dot, dot, dot. If the title company doesn't have their stuff together for whatever reason, and they can't put the documents together in time, then the signing company, if they were to get them and post them, they can't post them. If that's their job to post them, they can't post them because the title company didn't have them. That's why I was saying whether you are direct or going through signing services, somebody is responsible for getting the documents together. Who is that? And if that person or that company, if the point of pain is the title company, then it's like, okay, the title company got to get the documents together because you can't get the documents until they have released them. But we put the blame on the signing company. And yes, some of the signing companies are very iffy when it comes to informing us. And a lot of times they don't want to tell us that it's not going to happen to the last minute because they may be having a hard time getting notaries. So let's just say their criteria for getting notaries is you got to have 2 years experience and 80 signings under your belt with $50,000 of E&O insurance. But the bulk of the notaries in your area don't match that criteria. They need to keep you on that order for as long as they can so that they can satisfy that customer. Additionally, what I found out, some of the title companies have requirements that says we only want to work with notaries that meet this criteria. Case in point, during the pandemic, which is still going on, my driver's license expired in May. Okay, so May 20th, May 31st, 2020, my license expired. But the state of Virginia gave us an extension. No big deal. You got an extension, keep going. I told the signing companies, they was like, no problem, dot, dot, dot. However, what's going on there? TXB for you. Here's the problem. There was one company, Old Republic Title. They did not give me a single word while my driver's license was expired. It was like, we don't care about the extension. You are not sound check. If y'all can't hear me, let me know. Going in and out. Volume went low. How about now? All right. Sound quality just got weird. Yeah. Nah, it might be coming from me. I don't know. Let me check. Hmm. Oh, all right, all right, all right. How about now? I check. Okay, better. That's better. Better. All right. Um, one of the things is that some of these title companies, ah, okay, sounds weird. Some of these title companies, this ain't good. Sounds weird. Better. Sounds like you're talking. Okay, okay. What in the world is going on? Ah, man. Okay. All right. Y'all can hear me. Okay. Okay. Sorry about that. Don't know what's going on. Again, this thing is still in beta with them. But one of the things is a lot of these title companies, they have their own criteria. So when I did not meet the criteria of having a valid driver's license, they wouldn't send me orders. Once I got the driver's license, then I was my driver's license renewed, then I was able to get orders. Okay, now I'm back normal. Okay. So as I was saying when I was fading in and out, one of the things is that these companies, if you don't meet their criteria, and what like I was saying, CX Choice, which is a signing company, worked with a company called Old Republic National Title. Old Republic stopped sending me orders because my driver's license had expired. And under no circumstance were they going to let me keep doing orders while my driver's license was expired, even though the state of Virginia gave me an extension. They was like, nope, it's not happening. Period. You're not, we're not doing it. Now there was other companies, they didn't care. They accepted the extension. So what I'm saying is that the title company has their requirement, the signing company has their requirement, and if you come in and then everybody is saying, oh, all you need is $25,000 of insurance, but the companies on this platform are looking for 50 or 100K, and you don't know that because nobody is telling you, then how do you go about it? So a lot of people are out here not able to get any work because they don't meet the criteria. So what I'm learning is that you need at least $100,000 of insurance, and this is what a signing guy, owner of a signing company, told me. You need $100,000 of. I'm going through that right now with SnapDocs. They won't allow me to accept orders. Right, that's it, Jacqueline. So again, these companies they got their own criteria, and you don't even know it. And I was what I had to do, Jacqueline. I had to send SnapDocs proof from the state of Virginia that they extended my license, and they was like, okay, you good, we got it, dot dot dot, and I was still able to get orders. But as soon as I could, I went and got my stuff updated. Um, so we don't know what their criteria is, and some people say, oh well, you can find out this way, that way, and there are some. I put it this way: the companies that say what their criteria are or is, they don't work in my area, so that doesn't do me any good. So what I learned through trial and error that the best bet is to go ahead on and get about $100,000 in E&O insurance, and that shows them that you're serious. Um, because in the way the guy told me was anybody can get 25K. It's nothing to get 25K, but if you're serious, you'll get 100K. 100K is $120 a year. The Byberg E&O, the $1 million policy was $360. I was like 360, 120. I'm like getting 5 times more. I'm like, or 10 times, almost 10 times more. I'm like, yeah, I went and did that. and then I'm gonna drop the 120K. Um, why would they share? That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. So with you having 100K, so Jacqueline, how many signings have you done? Yeah, that's what I like to know, Jacqueline. How many, if you've done any signings and you got the insurance, how many signings have you done? And then you got the $1 million, Shari, yeah, for $40 a month. So that's the question. How many signings have you done on top of, and I guess, and what I'm gathering, most of you here are under a year doing this. That's the gut. So you've done 3 loan modifications. More than likely, those 3 loan modifications was coast to coast for Wells Fargo using Notary Dash. Let me know, Jacqueline, if that's correct, because they're the ones who I've been seeing the most do the loan modification. Everybody was told to get the low amount just to get in. But like I said, the guy who runs Notary Stars, which is another site that you can get on, they do training, they have connections and all of that. I think their stuff is like $9 and some change a month, 9.99 a month. Um, yep, Notary Dash Coast to Coast. Yeah. Now, another thing, this is where a lot of people get confused. You get these orders and you're thinking, oh, they're sending it to me. 99% of the time, they're sending it out to a wide variety of y'all. So it's not that they're sending it just to you. And then because some people are like, well, I got this order. They sent, and I've heard people say that they sent me this order. I said I was available and I never heard anything back. They didn't send it just to you, they sent it to a lot of people. And you answered, and then they said, nah, I don't want to pick you. That's what happens. And sometimes you have to be the last person on the basketball court to get picked. And after everybody else done took the order or passed it up, then they'll be like, yep, I had a refi to do it. See, yeah. Now, I will say this, Jacqueline, maybe, right, it's like an email blast, but it's through text messages. That's another thing I see the people that are telling. So maybe Jackie SnapDocs has changed their policy, or the people who they're working for, their clients, SnapDocs clients, are saying expired driver license, we not accepting. So if that's the case, that's what you need to ask SnapDocs. Why aren't I able to do it? Will you be doing a video on your car printing setup? Yes, I will. I will do another one. Yeah. Yeah, I can do another one on that. That's not a problem. I do have one or two out there already, but if you need me to do another one, I can. And if there's any things that you want me to point out with that, Roz, just let me know. So yeah, Glass is a call for them, and I asked them to assign it to you. Yeah. Because you work full time, couldn't take them. I heard the key for the blast is to call them and ask them to assign it to you. You can try that. Yep, you can try that and say, hey, King, if they answer the phone. Another method, which I've shared before, is if you know you can do it at a different time, just ask them. Just say, hey, the order, let's say you're getting off at 3:30, the order comes in for 3 o'clock, but you know legitimately you can be there by 4:30, then say, hey, I can do it at 4:30. If you see an order that is TBD, say yes to it. Even if you see it at 10 o'clock in the morning, it says time to be determined, that you pick it up. If you get an order that says to be determined, say you're available, because that means you get to call the buyer, I mean the assigner, and say, hey, I got this order, and they said it's an open time on it, and my first availability would be at 6 o'clock this evening. Are you available at 6 this evening? And they're like, yeah, I'm available. So now you got you an order. You have you an order. Some people don't like TBDs. A lot of busy notaries, I don't mind them. I love them, because then I can really work them in there. So if I'm already, let's say if I got three or four already, and I would love to do a fifth one, especially if I got three or four low ones, I would love a TBD, because that might help me out. Cool, yeah. Thanks for the gift. And then somebody asked about me and taking orders in the beginning of the month. Yes, in the beginning of the month, I take orders. I try to take as many as I can. I very rarely will counter. The only time I counter is if it's in the evening. At night, that's when I will counter. I will counter in the evening, for say 7, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. Order come in for 85. I'll say, can I get 100? And if there's nobody else, yes, I've done signings on Sundays. I'm doing one tomorrow or today, which is now Sunday. Um, there are, yeah. So I was, if it's a nighttime one and it comes in for 85, I would ask for 100. If it comes in for 90, I say 100. I just go for 100. And if nobody else will take it, and then you look and see where it's located, and you like, man, ain't nobody going over there. Yeah, I'll do it for 100. If it comes in for 100, I ask for 110, 115, just to see if they'll give it to me. If they're desperate enough, here you go. They'll do it. Weekends, I ask for 100. Just period. I mean, it's weekend. They come out with something for 75. I say 100. If they give it to you, great. If they don't, and then once you get the higher fee, now all you have to do is execute the documents correctly. Read the instructions, do what they ask, ship the stuff out on time, and everything will be fine. And in other words, give them their money's worth. That's all you're doing is giving them their money's worth. So it says, so if you do not have a driver's license yet, don't sign it. That is a difficult one, because it all goes back to business model. It all depends on what they want. So looking at ID verification, yeah. So SnapDocs, yeah, you got to have a valid driver's license. You got to have a valid driver's license with SnapDocs. Expiration, yeah, May 7th. Yeah, that's, yeah. So yeah, you got to have a valid driver's license with SnapDocs. Some companies, they may not care, because you think about it, if you're in a big city like New York, LA, places like that where they have good public transportation, you can probably get away with not having a driver's license, um, and catch the subway and this, that, and the other. Can a newbie get away with that? Get away with, oh, you talking about um, with asking for more money? Yes, you can get away with asking for more money. I didn't, because I didn't know I could at the time. I did not know anything about countering. Um, but let me see. So we clear. You click yes, I'm available, and counter, or do you click no and counter? I click no and counter, because typically, if you click yes, they expect you to take it for the price that you said. So I normally will hit no, and then I will say pick the price. I'll say, you know, $100, like price too low. How do you just do loan applications to get started? When you see the loan applications come through, and you'll say, oh, it'll say this. You'll sometimes say loan application, or it'll say disclosures or initial disclosures. So if you see initial disclosure, what's going on, Lori? If you see initial disclosures or disclosures or app, that basically means it's a loan application. And with the loan application, um, you don't notarize anything, and normally you only have to print one copy. Try to get my license this year, but they canceled the road test. Got it. Got it. Um, so yeah, you can do the loan application when they come through, and since loan applications aren't being notarized, you can go cross state line. So there are people here that we're real close to where we're at. We're not that far from North Carolina, and I'll see orders for Mooryock, North Carolina, and a lot of the notaries that I know that live in Chesapeake that are about 20 minutes from North Carolina, they will take orders to do loan applications in North Carolina. Slide down there. Loan applications, depending on the company, can be probably about 80, 50 to 80 pages. Not valid, uninspired ID for some reason. Yeah. Um, the loan applications are typically about 50 to 80 pages, maybe 100 sometimes, but really very rarely 100. And it's just disclosures. It's if it's a VA loan, it's just all the different VA paperwork, um, tax paper, tax return stuff, um, certain disclosures, all that kind of stuff. The big thing is with the loan application is getting them to provide you with their promissory note from their first mortgage or the existing one, a copy of their closing disclosure, sometimes tax returns, stuff like that. So you get that. So I use the Adobe Scan app, and I will just, take pictures of everything. If they have copies of it already, then you just take the copies back. Sometimes you just have to just drop the loan application into FedEx and send it back. Sometimes they might want you to scan it back. Um, and sometimes they'll say scan it, but then hold on to the original for 7 days. And if we need it, something out of it, then we'll ask for it. If not after 7 days, you just shred it. So you'll get those. And I mean, you might get 70 to 90 bucks for them, but you get experience understanding the loan application. And keep in mind, every time there's a loan application, that means there's a potential for that person in 4 to 6 weeks, maybe longer now, to actually close their loan, and you may get the closing. But if you do the loan applications correctly and showing that you're reliable and that you're open to do that, you can then turn around. Yeah, you pay $10. Yeah, I'm paying the $10 to $14 a month because I think I got the bigger suite. So I'm paying like 14 bucks a month for the Adobe, the full version of Adobe Acrobat. The Adobe Scan app is free, but with the Adobe Acrobat, when you sign in with on the Adobe Scan app and whatever you scan, it automatically shows up in your profile on the Adobe DC. I don't know if it does that for the reader, but I haven't tried it since I got the full version. But yeah, um, I paid to have the full version. Um, and the reason why is because sometimes if I'm doing a general notary job, sometimes I may have to, especially if I'm doing the e-notary stuff, they'll have the venue will be like say Newport News and I'm in Virginia Beach. And what I do is I use the Adobe app to get rid of Newport News and put in Virginia Beach, because on the e-notary stuff, the apps that they have, um you can't just like strike through it like you would a regular one and everything. And then if you try to type over top of it, then you can't even see what the words are. So I actually would use the full version of Adobe and edit it, pull out the old stuff and put in what I'm supposed to put in there and go from there and all of that. Um, check out Coast to Coast, Notary Dash. I've only gotten two or three signing notifications from Notary Dash, and no sooner than they come in, they gone. Um, but yeah, you can get the free version of Adobe. Yes, you can. You can get the free version of Adobe. Um, all of them do loan docs. I mean, all the loan companies have to do a loan application. How they go about doing it is a different story. That's the key because some of them may just do it all through DocuSign. Then there's other companies that, hey, case in point, it was Armor Settlement. Armor Settlement, which is through signing order, they they have literally have done it to where they talk to somebody at 10 o'clock in the morning about doing a loan, and at 3 o'clock they want the order to be filled. They sending me, they send out and they'll pay like $110 and say, yeah, we need to get this. How much e-notary work are you? I'm doing not a whole lot. Not a whole lot of e-notary work. I could probably be doing more, but I've been so busy with the regular closings that I haven't had time to really do the e-notary stuff. But when I do it, it pays good. Haven't had a problem with it at all. But our more settlement tends to, if they talk to you at 10 o'clock in the morning, they trying to get you to have an appointment by 3 or 4 o'clock to fill that loan application paperwork so nobody else will get to you. So each loan company is different in the way that they do their loan docs. And some companies never do it where they send notaries out, and then there's others who do. Have you ever done? Have not done an auto loan. Do you check your phone doing? Yes, I'm not gonna lie to you. Um, I check my phone during the signings. The caveat to that would be when I'm in there with the client, if they seem intense, if they seem a little on the uppity side, eccentric, then I won't. However, what I do is when I come into the signing, and some of you can probably do this also, I let them know, I say, how you doing? Y'all, Mr. Griffin, I'm the notary. I said, hey, I just want to inform you that sometimes I may get a phone call directly from a title company because a notary got sick or had to cancel, and they may be calling me to ask me, can I pick up an extra order? So I will say, yeah, so I will let them know that I might get a phone call. Um, One of the other things I will tell them, I say, hey, I say, look, I help notaries out. I do training with notaries, and sometimes they might get stuck on something. So they may call me while I'm here, and I just need, just wanted to let you know I may have to answer the phone so I can just answer their question for them and everything. And I have notaries call. I mean, lately I haven't. Are you doing any Ron or just um I've done more Ron than the e-notary. The e-notary is, if I'm not mistaken, is the one where you carry the tablet and you sit down with the customer with a laptop or a tablet and they do that. I haven't done any of that. I'm able to. I have an account with Pavazo, Pavaso. Um, it took me like, man, months to get that thing set up because Pavazo, because of the virus, are very, very slow in responding. So it took me months. I'm talking about from like April through about last month to get everything set up with them. It just took forever. And then a lot of the companies in my area don't even use Proviso. So I'm signed up with them and paid this money and they don't even use it. But the Ron signings, I've done a couple of those closings. I've heard of Maverick signings. Yeah, to do the auto loans. Um, isn't it accredited? I guess that's what she's saying. Accredited. Um, yeah, yeah. I haven't. I've heard of Maverick. I haven't signed up for them yet, but I've heard of them that they do the auto loans and stuff. And that's why part of the reason why I say money is money. I mean, right now it's like, okay, let me get some money in and get some experience under my belt and show these companies that I'm for real. And then you update your profile to show that, hey, I'm out here doing this, I'm out here doing that. And if they see that you're for real, they see that you're about doing business. Eventually, they want to be in a position where they're going, okay, I'm gonna have to give you some business. And trust me, there are going to be people who are going to fall off. And there was people that I know. I've never seen anybody talk about just how, when, and where you are. When you say where you are. When you say where you are, I don't. When and where you are. I'm missing on that. Where I'm at, okay. Well, I'm in Virginia Beach, Virginia. If that's what you're asking, I'm in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Yeah. So who's that that just asked that? Red Hawk. I would keep saying Red Hawk, RD Hawk. If you're saying where am I at, I'm in Virginia Beach, Virginia, if that's what you're asking. Now, with everything that I've said, and I probably have to do a video so other people can hear, or maybe people hear on this. I don't know if they want to listen to. But we've been rolling for about an hour and a half, and I appreciate y'all being out here tonight. Um, to me, the point of failure for a lot of notaries is not do you have no, I have not done a startup cost video because there's so many of these other people out here who are doing it every 3 days. I'm not trying to be funny, but it's like every 3 days somebody is hopping out there talking about, hey, here's the startup cost in 3 days. Here's the startup cost 3 days later. Here's the startup cost. Um, so that's why I never did a startup cost one. Because there's so many people who are doing it, and to be honest, they're doing it to get you to click on those links so they can get paid from having affiliations. It's affiliate links. I mean, I'm just being honest with you because, yeah, I don't have no problem doing this tonight. Have no problem at all because I really want to help y'all. This is my take on this. A person only been doing this for a month, and within a month, they're sitting here pushing products, and that's the kind of stuff that I used to see when people would do Amway and Shackley and other network marketing stuff. That a brand new person would get involved, and no sooner than they get involved, they're pushing these products. Hey, get this, hit this. I got it. I got the stuff. For those of you from old school, you remember the guy from Good Times. I'm Lenny, and I got plenty. It's like, hey, you coming to me, and I got you. And then you have, then like from a more modern era, you got Hustle Man. you know, what's up, Chief? What's up? you know, he always got something, and it's like, okay, what the heck's going on? You know, oh, you got yeah, the bag is, yeah, it's very roomy. That bag is real roomy. So I'm not opposed to saying, hey, here's the startup costs and all of that. But when I sit back and I analyze it, I'm like, why is it's like 17 people out there and their pattern is the same? I can tell you the truth. Here's the startup cost. Let me in you on the secret. Click this link. And I'm a web guy by trade. I run an IT consulting business, also building websites. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, yeah, Sugar Dap Willie. That's right, aka Lenny. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, I knew IT guy would remember. I knew it. I knew that's why I did that. I knew IT guy would remember him. And I'm sitting here like, this is a money grab. These people are these people are just doing this to get money. And that's why I said a couple of days ago, and I thought about this sincerely, y'all. I said, who am I when it comes to this here? I said, I'm a notary who's on YouTube. But you got people who are YouTubers that are that's what they're doing to make money to live off of, that happen to be a notary, that happen to be a real estate agent, that happen to be a real estate investor, that happen to be a somebody who does pallets. You know, that's a business there. They happen to be all of these different things, and then there are, and there's no slight on them. And I'm not saying this wrong, but it just doesn't make sense that somebody who just started this is pushing so hard, and it's so many. I mean, and they just coming at everybody from every angle. From, I mean, I'm looking and I'm searching. I mean, every time I turn around, I can show you 500 signing companies. I can show you 300 signing companies. I can show you the secret to this. I can show you the secret to that. And then when you sit back and you look, and it's like, you only been doing it a hot minute. I'm like, okay, it just doesn't make sense to me. So now I can, if that's what you want. And the way I want to run it is, if somebody wants me to do something, if you want me to do a startup cost, I can. And I don't have a problem doing that. But I didn't want it to seem like I was trying to bite off of somebody else. Um, like, oh, they did this, so let me run and do it. Um, that's not me. But I can tell you real quick, like, I would say the basic startup costs you need to have roughly about maybe 1,500. Um, because, and I can do the math real quick. Um, so you're looking at the notary part, and let's just say $200 for the background check and all that, just rounding up. Then you're talking about the printer and everything, which let's just give that a 420. So that's 420. I got my scanner there. So I got the scanner right here. The scanner, we're talking about probably another 400. So that right there is $1,000 just in the equipment. Then you're talking about getting the cat adjusted. And I haven't even done fingerprinting. That's why I never mess with that. I haven't even done fingerprinting. Matter of fact, I can't even do fingerprinting around here. Um, the clear justice. Yeah, so I haven't even done that. Thanks. I appreciate that, Tosh Reed. I appreciate that, Tasha. So right off the bat, just getting your notary commission through NNA. And then when you look at the state notary commission thing, that's another, for Virginia, that's 55. So you're talking about 1,075 when you get your notary commission. Okay, then you throw in the stamp journals, all of that. So let's say the stamp journal and all of that kind of stuff is probably, let's just go with on the low end, probably say another 40 bucks. So that's $1,100. So $1,100. So 200 for doing the NNA stuff, $55 to do your um to get your commission, 400 for the printer, well 420 for the printer, say 400 for the scanner, $40 for the notary journals and stuff like that. Then you add in the bag, the pins, and all of that. That could probably run you, let's just say another, let's go 150 for bags, pins, clipboards, all of that. So that right there puts you at 1,265. Then you look at paper. You get it from Walmart. Let's just say one case of paper from Walmart, which is roughly about 30 bucks. Then you get another case of paper. The legal, that the 30 bucks is for a letter, 64 for legal off of Amazon. So you're talking about 13.59. Um, and then any other nice to do things that you would want. So on a rough estimate, right? And see, the question is what type of printer you have. Whether you got the single tray printer, the dual tray printer. Remember, I got the high speed scanner. So all of those things count, And when you say, like so her startup cost didn't hit 1,000. And I sort of pushed the price for the NNA up a little bit. So it all depends on how fancy you get, because keep in mind there are some people who they get the super cool fancy leather bags. So you get in the leather bags, all this, that, and the other. So, and then that's before you start doing, putting and say, okay, I'm gonna get an LLC. So if you go and get the LLC, my startup costs have come to just about 2 grand. Yeah. And when I add in the LLC costs, all of that, mine probably was closer to 2 grand. And since then, so the startup cost is the one thing. Here's the bigger cost. It's the maintaining cost. Running, you got to buy extra pins, so you got the pins. So do you buy the pins or do you buy the refills for your pins? So you got to buy refills for your pins. Yeah, get the LLC. I went and got the LLC. I got the LLC. hmm Doing business as, that's, if you're doing a sole proprietor, I would say it's best to just go ahead on and do the LLC. Because you have a little bit more protection with the LLC than with the thing. Yeah, than having sole proprietor. Plus, I want people to really take me serious. So, startup cost 1,800 because the printer was very expensive. Yeah. DBA $14 for that. Yeah. And what I did was, the reason why I went head on, because I did not want to be caught in the middle of getting where my business is exploding and growing and doing good, and then I got to take time out and try to switch over to an S-corp or go from a sole proprietor to an LLC. So I said, you know what? Let me just go ahead on and just do it. And actually, having the LLC pushed me, because it put me in the mindset of I'm a business owner, which I've already ran 2 other businesses, and then helped my wife with her business, because she runs a cosmetology school. So it helped me to really just get in the mindset of running this like a business. Plus, I ain't gonna lie to you, it just sounded cooler to say, "Hey, Griffin Notary Services LLC." It just sounded so much cooler to be able to say that. And then you got people asking, "So, are you? Is this your business?" Yes, this is. You this your business? I said, yes, it's an LLC. Oh, and that impresses them. So um, that's why I did it. Now I see y'all talking about the printers and stuff. What I will say is this: on Amazon, what a lot of people are looking for is the 6200 DWT, um, the dual tray one. What I've done is I just go ahead on and buy the single tray, and then I buy the extra tray separate. So I'll just go ahead on and get, because right now on Amazon, the single tray is $219. Normally it's 249. So 219 for the printer, and then you throw in LT 6500, which is the tray, and the LT 6500, is it even available? Because it might not, because a lot of people been buying that up. Um, yeah, right now that tray isn't available. So if you really need a printer, I would say you can get the brother the 6200. And the reason why I prefer the 6200, I know a lot of notary teachers say get the 5200 because it's a little bit cheaper, but the 6200 allows you to use a 12,000 page toner cartridge, and the page capacity in the 6200 single tray is 520 sheets versus 250 in the 5200. And that 520 sheets makes a difference. So you're not constantly having to change out paper all the time. So between the 520 at the top, 520 at the bottom, you got 1140 pages and a 12,000 page toner cartridge that you can put in there. That's excellent. That is truly, truly, truly excellent. I'm being honest with you. That is truly excellent. So that is and I actually have three printers. So I have this one behind me. I got another one, the one that I normally use in my car. And when I'm in the house, I use both of them. I print one copy from here, then the other copy from that one, and then I have a third one as a backup. And what I've been doing, or what has been happening, is that because people have a hard time finding the printers, a lot of the new notaries who have come on, if they haven't found a printer, I'll sell them that one that I have, and then I'll just go ahead and order me another one, um, because I have a 30-day invoice account with Amazon. So I'll order stuff, and then I got 30 days to pay it off. So that's what I've been doing. Um, okay, they actually had it at the Walmart. Cool, cool. The 6200 dual tray. Now that's awesome. There. Um, and I believe Epson's is a good one. As long as it's laser, that's the main thing. Um, as long as it's laser, and yeah, Lisa T Brother. And the only reason why I went with Brother, because that's what everybody was talking about. It was laser compact, and and it worked out, and it works real well. It works really, really well. Mine, the one that's behind me, I've had that for the whole time, 2.5 years, and haven't had any problems. I just change it out. You just researching right now, 5100, 400. Yeah. hmm And again, at the same time, you get what you can get. Um, if that's all you can get at the moment, you get it, and you work it until you get the money to buy you something different. But constantly check Amazon, and um, yeah, my scanner is a ADS 2800. And yeah, the scanner is, I type it in here. Yeah, it costs. It ain't cheap. I mean, and I think I caught it on sale for like under 400. But man, that thing, I haven't had that problem storing it in a cold. I mean, I don't store it in there. When I'm out, I use it, keep the heat on. Um, but I haven't had any problem. I'm more concerned about it not acting right during the summertime with moisture and stuff, getting the paper moist, the humidity, and the rollers getting a little wet. I mean, getting a little soft from the heat, and then the rollers get sticky and messing up stuff. But I haven't had any problem because I started using the printer in the cold last New Year's Eve. Last New Year's Eve, I started and I never had a problem with it, and it was cold. And and the printer itself produces a good amount of heat. So when you really rolling and you got 3 or 4 of these, it produces some heat and the paper comes out nice and warm and everything. So I've never had a problem with the printer doing what it needs to do and stuff. Um, but the printer works great. The scanner works great. I haven't had any problems with either. I will say I've heard a lot of people having problems with the 5200 jamming. I don't know why. Um, if you have the 6200 and you end up putting too much paper in there, that could be a problem, and some people will overstuff it. So I never stuff it to its capacity. I may put just a little less than I'll put a little less than the max in there, because I overstuffed it one time and didn't realize. And instead of pulling letter, it just printed everything on legal because it couldn't pull the letter paper out, and it just went straight to legal and printed everything on that. And then that messed my documents up, because they didn't want it on all legal; they wanted it on letter and legal and stuff. Um, but yeah, so cost wise, cost wise, I have not. Um, I don't know. One, that's what the problem is. There we go. I was under the wrong account. I'm like, why is it saying Griffin Technology? Yeah, that's my other account. Yeah, so cost wise, I have. I mean, yeah, I think 2 grand, but the real kicker is having the money that you need to get your toner when you're running out of that. Because listen, y'all, part of the reason why I keep so much paper and toner is because several of the notaries that I work with around here, when they first started, I would get phone calls at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. Yo, Griff, I ran out of paper. Hey, Griff, you got some toner? I forgot to order some. Yeah, I mean, they getting their orders, dot, dot, dot. And then they like, and I was telling them, I said, don't forget to order your paper, order your toner, buy paper, whatever. And they wouldn't. Oh, I'm gonna get to it, I get to it. And then next thing you know, they got an order, and halfway through, they run out of toner, or they didn't have enough legal. And at one point in time, you couldn't even find legal anywhere around here, probably because I had most of it. But that was the biggest thing, and that's when I was like, okay, when I go full time, I gotta make sure I keep my supplies up. So right now, I probably have at least 2 boxes of legal, which I'm not using a whole lot of legal, and just to get in there, sure. Yeah, what you got going on, Lisa? Um, but yeah, now I'm down to 1 box of letter, and the only reason why I haven't bought any more because of the holidays, and I got tired of trying to get into the stores and get out. So tomorrow I'm gonna be buying at least 3 cases of letter. So right now I want to be able to have at least 3 to 4 cases of letter always available. And I'm down to 1 case in storage. I got a half a case at the house plus my emergency stash upstairs. So that's where I'm at with that. But yeah, the ongoing supplies is what's going to hurt you. If you get busy, oh, the drum, you need a drum. Yeah, I've tried to order stuff from Quill, but their paper is just a little more expensive than what I get at Walmart. I'm getting it from Walmart, a case of letter for 28.88, and unless it's going to be that or less, and I get free shipping, I just go with the Walmart. And I was getting the stuff from Staples and Office Max. Every time they would ship me stuff from them, the paper would come damaged because UPS would just be throwing the box all over the place. And next thing you know, I get the box and the box itself would just bust open. The corners of the papers are all bent and messed up to the point where you can't even use the paper in the printer. So nah, I don't do the autofill program. Nah, nah, because I catch the toner on sale and all of that. So yeah, so right now the toner that I normally get is $124. So sometimes it'll drop and hmm, yeah, like right now I'm looking at it and like this one company, but I don't know if they legit. They selling it for 114. I get a little iffy with some of these companies. Yeah, for some of these companies, they be dropping the price, and they might be having might be some sneaky knockoff brand in there. So typically, I pay about 120 to 124 for mine, and honestly, I haven't had any problem. I have had problems when I went and got the off brand. If I get the off brand toner, like Guy Brown and all of them, they stuff was just terrible. Had dust all over the paper, all of that kind of stuff. So, all right, party people, I'm gonna call it a night. How frequent do I buy new toner? Um, I think I got 2 in there now. I try to keep 2 to 3. Time to bed or do whatever you want to do. But thanks y'all. Y'all have a good one. Peace.